Adriana is one of our mentors in Toronto, and you just finished getting off of a show. You just finished the show, right?
So I don't even know where to start. I was working at my friend's prop shop, and then I got a call. Well, actually, I reached out to someone on Facebook who was like, "Hey, is anyone working next week? Does anyone need hours?" I was like, "Oh, I can. I'm just getting off of Slumberland. I can do a day next week." And she was like, "Are you only available for a day?" I was like, I'm available for whenever, right?
Uh-huh.
So then I get, while I'm at the prop shop around lunchtime, I get a call from the costume supervisor on Man from Toronto. She says, "Hi, I got your number from someone. They're saying you're available. I just want to let you know this is a full-time position." I was like, "Oh goodness, okay. So how long is it? And they said, "Oh, until December. And then after that, there's probably wrap up." So I was like, "Oh yeah, totally, absolutely. I'm on it." She's like, "Okay, so just so you know, it's a PA job." And I normally don't do PA job. I'm in the costume department. So I do costume assistance. So a PA job is a little bit more off. It's actually all office. So what we used to do is I work with background quite a bit, and they would do is they would have all their luggage. They would come in. We would say, "Let's see what you got." We would dress them, take pictures, get approval. They're on set. But now, because of COVID, they need somebody to do everything. It's all by email now. I essentially had to do was receive emails from people. So send out a picture saying this is what you should take pictures of. Then they get 2 hours worth of pay for three um, 3 to 4 photos. So it's essentially a virtual fitting. And then they send me the photos. I process them. I upload them to the cloud. The designer approves on it. They make notes. Then I have to send emails back to everybody telling them, "Please bring these items." And here's a
Oh,
picture. And then they bring the items to set, and then hopefully, like, they either get an approval. They said, "This is what you're wearing, but please bring 2 more options." And then they show up to set, and then if there's nothing, then we dress them. But the thing is the logistics of it all is you have to load a truck with all these clothes, and you have to get them ready for 2 or 3 days worth. So what you really want is for them to bring as many things as possible. So on any given day, I think on at least the busiest days, I process something like 350 photos a day.
yeah.
At some point, the costume designer had me on speed dial. She's like, "What's your extension?" I was like, "Oh, 111." She's like, "Okay, now that I know your extension, I'm going to be calling you all the time." Yeah, it was kind of funny. So I ended up coming in like 3 weeks into the show. So it was absolute chaos. They needed me. I was not, there was a whole
Tell
extra
us,
work that needed to
tell
be
us
done.
the show again. Tell us the show.
So it's Man from Toronto. It's a feature film. It's Woody Harrelson and Kevin Hart. It's like an assassin body cop type of film. And obviously, I'm super excited because feature pay. It's a little bit higher than the show pay. And
What is it? What is the pay?
it's what is the pay? Oh, it's a 39 an hour. That's before, so that's standard. And then once you get to overtime, then it double, triples, and whatnot. So Man
Kidding.
from Toronto was crazy unique in the sense that they started shooting before COVID and they had to shut down. And now they were in a hurry to finish it. And there was so much to do. And they were basically like, "So we're gonna go with a skeleton crew on this one, but the job and the amount of work is still the same." Also, we're very, very skimpy on hiring dailies. So the testing and everything had to be insane. So basically, she says, "Okay," I said, "I'll take the job." She says, "Just so you know, it's like all the way out in like west end of the city." I'm like, "I don't give a shit. I'll take it." So I was on it for 10 weeks. And because Sony was just like driving this, they were like wanting to get it done by the end of holiday, and wrap time was December 19th.
Gotcha.
What happened was we were working 6 days standard, sometimes seven. I worked from home at least 6 times on Saturdays. Had like, I think for the first month, I had 4 hours of sleep a night. It was kind of an endurance sport at this point.
Wow.
But
At 40
COVID
bucks an
had some,
hour standard and
oh,
then overtime on top of that, you made a ton of money.
yeah, I
You
made
made,
quite a bit of money.
how much
It
money
was
would you make?
nice.
Did you make like, I don't know, 20, 30 grand?
Oh yeah, that would have been great, except for the taxation, which is
Well,
lovely.
but that's
You
what
end
it
up
is,
on a
isn't it?
tax bracket, but then you get it back a bit later. I would hope. But yeah, something like that. Like before taxes, something like 20K. It's a
Yeah.
little crazy to even think about,
Not
actually.
bad for 10 weeks, guys.
But not bad. So um, yeah, that's why everybody wants to get on features. But COVID changed everything. I tested when I was at the office. I tested once a week. When I had to go to set, I tested 3 times a week. We're the most tested industry. We get tested more than some of the nurses around here because they put the money down to get all the equipment, all the tests, and then now each production has a COVID department, which
Mhm.
is what we did here. I'm pretty sure it's similar over there, but you let me know. But yeah, it was really good. Some productions had a few, like one case is here, one case there, but all they did was because they contact traced, they were able to get everybody to like they isolated per department, and then they just took time off. But it allowed us to work, so it's still going. Right now, we have
Thank
23
goodness.
productions going at the same time. 23 productions and 6 feature films.
Toronto's
Both
busy.
Star Trek and The Expanse and Handmaid's Tale and Titans and What We Do in the Shadows and like, oh my God, like it's a little nuts. Oh, and Station 11, which I might go on. Fingers crossed. Resume has been out. We'll see. I got glowing recommendations. I'm basically irreplaceable according to my supervisor. So I'm just like, yes. Yeah, it
Congratulations.
was there were a lot of hidden opportunities in and the boys, yes. Um there was a lot of hidden opportunities because of COVID. So you were talking about like long hours. It was kind of funny. So what we did was when I started, I was a PA and I was another PA and we carpooled together. Then she got promoted to set costume assistant and someone else had to be hired to replace her. And then I carpool with them. And then one day, my supervisor walks in and says, "So I start at 8 in the morning. So I wake up 5:30 a.m. by the time I get there. So my day ends at 8 p.m., sometimes 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And so she goes, "Hi, so I have some good news." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "So Woody's personal had a bit of a thing that she had to leave for. So now Ida is the new personal and you're the new Ida." So now I'm on set. So I went from a PA to a wardrobe assistant, which increased my pay from like, was it 29 or something as a PA to 39 as a costume assistant. And then after that, I was on set. So she said, "The good news is you got a promotion. The
Mhm.
bad news is you're going to have to be up for the next 24 hours."
Ooh.
So I had to prepare everything and get to set at 3 p.m. and start my day for a night shoot. And then that went on for 3 days.
Oh my.
So that was a bit of a flip, but it was amazing. At some point I think I stopped feeling tired and I think it switched to something I would only describe as euphoria. I worked my butt off. It was like I felt like I really took ownership of this whole thing, and because we ended up having different responsibilities, so we were spreading ourselves real thin. So at some point it's kind of like they had 3 background coordinators instead of like an assistant and a background coordinator. So we essentially all did that job. And I got really familiar with paperwork, which is I've mostly done set. So now I've been told it's a very high demand position because a lot of people don't know like they don't know what happens between office and set. But I was on the other end, and if you don't do things well at the office, by the time it gets to set, it's too late, and then you have 3 people running into the truck, into the costume truck, asking for 4 things that haven't been delivered to set because at the office there was a miscommunication.